Hi, welcome to week four um, of this project. So for week four, I'm going to be sharing with you what my goals was. So for week four, my goal was to release a copy of my final draft and create a summary of my final review. In doing this, for my final drafts, copy of the plan on the power chart, I use evidence-based research to support the need for intervention as well as implementing ideas brought to me by staff. The Power Chart tool was refound based on evidence-based research from Precast et al. In 2017, they presented an article that showed cutting infections in India. Um, they did put in, they did a research based on a facility that was facing a lot of cutting compared to my so using data from the research, I was able to gather more information on common cause of CADI in the hospital, as well as locations of CADI, while creating intervention from ideas brought to me by infection control preventionist, who happens to be my preceptor. I have resubmitted this too for my preceptor to review, as well as the same three nurses that I interviewed in week two. I plan to implement this during the cardiac prevalence day in the facility that's happening next month. So, as I presented this to my preceptor, she said it was wonderful as it is, but what is my plan? I said, what will be the nurse's main role? From my interviews to my conversations with her, we thought I got very passionate about this. Um, Not only because of personal experiences on the message unit, but more also feeling the need to advocate and help the people in administration know that the people on the front line will put in these measures if first of all they know what the measures are. So my first point was prevention is the main key to avoidance. We need more protocols that would encourage or promote more compliance. And one of the major points of protocols is prevention of inappropriate short-term catheter use. So sometimes we do have patients that are maybe demented, or sometimes even in acute confusion. And this is from a personal experience. I admitted a patient with pneumonia, and when that patient came in, they had a lot of bed sores. Most of those was due to the fact that they were incontinent, and um, they didn't have any care at home. So when the patient was admitted, I advocated for the nurse, for the doctor to give me an order for a Foley, and my immediate response to that was therapeutic use of the Foley as to prevent further skin breakdown, or to ensure that um, dressing changes or the medication that we are putting on the patients to try to heal the wounds is being used the way it is. So we did put in the Foley, but the patient came in with pneumonia, and usually they will discharge a patient with pneumonia within 3 to 4 days, or maybe 2 days, sometimes overnight, depending on age and other comorbidities. However, this patient ended up staying on our unit for at least 3 weeks, because after the patient was given the Foley, although it helped the skin with the skin breakdown, it also caused the patient to get a UTI. This was mainly through investigation, mainly through improper use of all aseptic techniques when nurses and aides go over to change the patient, or when the patient, being a female, laying on the bed, being immobile, when they do defecate, the chances that feces will come from underneath their bowel area into close to their vagina or where the catheter is. So the infection preventionist got involved, and on her assessment, they found out that there were really old feces that the catheter, first of all, the catheter, the secure of the catheter kept moving, and so the catheter would pull in and out a little bit, and with the patient's weight, when they opened up the patient's perineal area, they found dried out feces, very disgusting to see around the catheter, and they realized that the source of that infection to that particular patient was due to lack of proper cleaning of that. And since then, I made a point that, so as nurses, we can always advocate for um, removal or unnecessary placement of catheter. If the patient is in a nursing home, we should change or the hospital nurses should rather advocate for frequent changing of the patient to prevent more skin out. If the patient is not actively returning, or there isn't a medical reason why the patient should have this Foley for that long, I think the patient should not have a Foley at all. We should was pushing on urinary cat care um, during and after placement. The care is very, very important. So for week 4, this is what I plan, and this is how my week went so far. I'm so excited about week 5 because that's when I think everything begins to come together and summarize, and I can't wait to see what week 5 brings to us. Thank you.